gamesmanship out of Elliot Wolf. It's Peter Schrager yesterday on McAfee. His mock came out earlier today. We'll give you some thoughts on that, but I like that. So Wolf wasn't the GM then.
No.
He's not the GM now.
No, I wouldn't worry about it, Schrags.
In fact, Schrager even said it. He was the number 2 in Cleveland. He's the number 2 now. Schrager just told you he's the number 2. If you had any doubt, and I had held that up before, I haven't had it for a while. If you had any lingering doubt, Wolf is not in control in New England. Schrager just said it. So, interesting. Because they couldn't figure out the draft pick a couple of years ago when it was Baker Mayfield and not Sam Darnold.
But is he also like announcing that Wolf was his source?
Well, good point.
Because like you can't trust it. It's like, well, you can't trust him. Or maybe that is the guy that he wanted, but he didn't have say.
Good point, Shregs. What are you doing?
I wouldn't worry
you're out in your source.
You're throwing us out there. They're like, oh, you can't trust Elliot Wolf? It's like, all right, you can't trust Elliot Wolf. Hey, talk to somebody else in there.
Do you think, right now, most of the mock drafts, Schrager included, have Will Campbell going 4 to the Patriots.
Not only that, Terp put up on if you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, you could see
the odds.
What
is it now? It was like
minus 575.
So I was going to say, it was minus 500 something yesterday.
That's pretty staggering.
No, it is. But, okay. Where do you think those odds come from? There might be some specific intel there. I don't rule out that Vegas has
as
intel.
We're getting closer to it, the odds for the 3 picks ahead of them are also getting pretty weighted. Like, I think teams, whether they're being truthful or not, Vegas feels like they have a read on the top 3 picks. So then I think it probably comes down to what they're hearing out of New England and then also, like, giant need. I think that's a big part of it, too.
I would agree.
Those odds are iffy, though, because if you guys remember a couple years ago, Will Levis flew up to the top for second overall pick.
These odds are wonky, for sure.
I admittedly am riding the fence on this one because I want to believe them when they make my case. I don't want to believe them when they don't. And so, I do tend to put stock in these numbers. And it seems like Will Campbell, he is the heavy favorite to go 4th overall. And I agree, some of what you just said, Keefe, is why. Ward's going 1, Hunter's going 2, Carter's going 3. That's the consensus. And so what do the Patriots need at 4? It's Will Campbell.
Yeah, Hunter's minus 900 to go 2.
Yeah, he's going 2.
Cam Ward's minus like 20,000. Abdul Carter is minus 650.
I'm not sold on that one either. So I'm not just
Carter
playing games.
At 3?
Yeah, I'm not sold on that. If you're asking me to pick, I would probably pick that.
Sucker's bet, or is it a buying opportunity?
Keep scrolling down to 5. It's Genty at 5 now, right? It is.
Yeah, but minus 125 is starting where you get into like
that's a coin toss,
almost a pick 'em.
But Jeremiah said it the other day. Schrager had it today. Schrager has a notoriously accurate mock. He said one of the things he got wrong, ironically, was the number 1 pick. Seems like a big one to blow.
Darnold went 3 that year.
Yep, a few years ago. And so is it possible, Keefe, that all the mock drafts are off? The books are off.
Yeah.
Will Campbell's a heavy favorite at 4 right now, minus 5, whatever it is to go 4. And the Patriots are playing games, and they're tight-lipped. And because the Browns front office pulled it off before with Elliot Wolf when he wasn't in power, is it possible some of that's going on?
Oh, yeah.
They have a curveball up their sleeve that we don't see coming.
Yeah, of course. Well, you don't think so?
I think
there is, because I also don't think
I want to believe it, but I'm not really sure I believe it right now. No, I want to believe it.
But I think if 1, 2, 3 is chalk, then maybe 4 will be as well. But there's 3 teams ahead of you that could also throw a curveball at you. Like Cam Ward, we assume is going 1.
That's
but what the hell happens if he doesn't?
That's what we need.
Like, what kind of scramble mode do teams go in if he's not number 1?
We need that. I've been texting with a buddy of mine, Bragg. Giants fan.
How about that?
And he's like, anybody but Shedeur at 3. He's like, I don't even care. Just anybody but Shedeur. But that's what we need. We need Shedeur to go 3.
I still go back to Cleveland and New York desperately needs a quarterback. New York does have 2 pass rushers. Now, Abdul Carter might be the best player available there at 3 for them, and like that would probably be the smart pick long term, but that's one position they kind of have.
Schrager's been on TV today saying they like Dart. Now, his mock draft, they have him trading in and taking him in the 20s.
Yeah, you might be able to get him later.
But they like Dart. Jeremy Fowler, more smoke to Will Campbell.
All right.
ESPN, several industry sources believe the Patriots have an affection for LSU offensive tackle Will Campbell. That's the guy I do not want.
You don't want Will Campbell.
That's the opposite of affection.
I'll take him.
Assuming Hunter and Carter are off the boards, that's a big caveat.
It is.
Campbell would represent a safe pick for New England at 4. Word is new coach Mike Vrabel is high on him. Campbell would provide New England the chance to establish its identity across the O-line for quarterback Drake May. Again, that's Jeremy Fowler at ESPN. You want what Schrager had today?
Yeah, sure.
Schrager says Campbell is smart, tough, dependable, and a leader in a position of great need. I debate that. He might not.
Well, it is a position of great need. You can't debate that part.
Well, Is he going to play the position of great?
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
He's going to play at first.
Left tackle,
he might get demoted, but he's going to be a left tackle.
Is a position of great need. Can he play it? I mean, that's the whole conundrum.
Yeah.
He might not be built like Hall of Famer Orlando Pace, but the Patriots will be getting a day one starter and a culture guy on the offensive line.
Culture guy?
He has Ward, Hunter, Carter, Campbell, Genty, Membu, Warren, Walker, Williams, Loveland in a trade for the Colts at 10. Other players a note. He has Mason Graham dropping to 13 to the Dolphins. He has Teteroa McMillan dropping to 19 with the Bucks. Shedeur Sanders at 21 to the Steelers. And then, as we just told you, Jackson Dart going 26 in a trade up for the Giants with the Rams.
Do you want to hear a story that might make you feel better about Will Campbell?
Please. Wait. Oh, I thought you meant better about the Patriots not picking him at 4.
No, about Will Campbell, because they're probably going to take him.
Is it going to make – is it from high school?
Yeah.
I saw this story,
So from the Ringer. So Will Campbell didn't dress for a high school playoff game his senior year because of a pulled groin.
Soft.
His team was losing. So he got dressed under the stadium at halftime and asked to enter the game in the third quarter. He told his dad and coach, quote, just let me go one drive and see how I feel. And then I didn't come out, and they won the game. It's like when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime of the Bourbon Bowl and led the SCLSU Mud Dogs to a Bourbon Bowl victory. This is exactly like that. And you'd take Bobby Boucher at 4.
Yeah, I would.
Holy smokes.
I'd take him at 1.
He had like 15 sacks in the game.
No, I mean, you took the words out of
my
my
mouth.
mouth.
Bobby Boucher should have been the number 1 pick. Will Campbell pulled his groin. I started that story. I'm like, this doesn't make me feel any better. But then he inserted himself into that game.
There's so much I need to
ignored
Will
the
Campbell
doctor.
Have a throwing touchdown.
Ooh.
Bobby Boucher does have a throwing touchdown.
No, I mean, no one's saying we're taking Campbell over Bobby Boucher.
Bobby
That's not
Boucher,
what we're saying.
one of the great guys.
We're just saying this is it's Bobby Boucher-like.
It's similar to Bobby
Remember
Boucher.
when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl?
That was Will Campbell in high school. And they won that game. Put me in for one drive. Run behind me, coach.
I didn't read the full takeout at the Ringer. They tend to be verbose.
They have a lot to say.
What was the score at halftime? Were they down like 1 point?
It's
were they running behind him the whole game, or did he just happen
that
to be
information wasn't
happened to be on the
available.
field while was his team supposed to win by like 3 touchdowns? Were they like the way better team?
He gave up 9 sacks.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like
played terrible.
I would love to know a little bit more about what happened in the game, but okay, I'm led to believe he's super tough.
Yeah.
And, he was able to rough up some high schoolers as a left tackle. Good for him. I don't doubt that he can dominate as a left tackle in high school. I don't doubt that he could
Did you ever pull your groin in high school?
Well, it's my normal Friday night. He dominated as a left tackle in college. Yeah.
He's a left tackle.
I have questions if he can dominate or even do it at the next level.
I know. I hear you.
Interesting stuff.
But that shit, I think that swayed a lot of people, that story.
It did.
I think they're in on Will Campbell. You might want to update your love-hate vote now.
Too late.
Campbell.
Unfortunately, too late. If there's anybody hanging on to Elliot Wolf that he's in charge and has a role and you still believe in him, the Wolf Pack there, Keefe, if there's any of that, we're going to play for you coming up. The moment Elliot Wolf
he's
lost any power in New England.
Yes.
We're gonna do that coming up.
It's long. We're probably coming up on the 1-year anniversary
very
of
close to it.
When he's
very, very close to it. Let's take some phone calls though in the meantime. Bunch of you waiting patiently. Let's go to Daniel in Dallas. Hello, Daniel.
Yep, loud and clear.
All right.
What on earth?
Now, this is the second day in a row this has happened with Dan.
Yeah.
Dad, we don't get a lot of calls.
Is that
from Dallas.
Morse code? Which I can't really, on the fly, decipher.
It's the second day in a row that we've attempted to go to Daniel.
Yeah.
And just not ready to go, not there.
Do you think he's really, really deep in the ground or really, really high in the air? Something ain't right.
Would you rather go to space or the bottom of the ocean?
Hey, wait till 11:30.
I'm a space. I'm a spaceman.
I'm a water guy.
You're a water man.
Yeah, I'm a water man.
Barry's in New
I'm
Bedford.
an oil man.
What's up, Barry?
Hey guys. I'm with you, Jones, on Campbell. I'm out. I've been out for a while. It's not the arm length that's the issue. It's the wingspan. A tackle has to have an 80-plus wingspan. Campbell's is way below. It's even below Peter Skoronowski, who Vrabel took a few years ago out of Northwestern and instantly kicked inside because he knew he couldn't play tackle. We're back here again. I think Vrabel's the only guy that wants Campbell. I believe Elliot Wolf and maybe some of the scouts in that room are probably saying, listen, we don't think he can play tackle. So let's either try to trade back or take another prospect. I just don't see Campbell being a tackle in the NFL with that type of upper body and wingspan. It's never happened before. You have guys in the NFL with 32-inch arms, but you have that wingspan above 80, which compensates for the short arms. He has a small man's body for a guy 6'6".
Okay. It's Skoronski in Tennessee.
What about like Joe Staley and Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater?
Well,
what are their wingspans?
I don't know.
Right.
You gotta take him for his word, I guess, or Google them. Yeah, give me a Joe Staley wingspan or a Penei Sewell.
I don't think they measure wingspan.
Okay.
Arm length.
Those guys moved to right tackle, by the way.
Joe Staley, 33.5.
Yeah, it's arm length.
Yeah, well,
I don't
see wingspan. He's talking wingspan. I got your 10-yard split. I got a 3-cone drill here.
No, not
you want a bench press?
Not handspan.
Broad jump?
We should have measured.
You want his 3-cone drill? I have that. I don't have his wingspan.
We should have measured Marcelo Meyer's handspan when he was a friend of the show hanging out with us.
Oh, my God.
In Worcester.
I don't think we had a tape measure big enough. Guy's got paws on him, that Marcelo Meyer.
The meat hooks on that guy. Let's mix in a call on the Bruins. Kevin and Stoughton. Hello. Kevin, hello.
Hello.
Kevin.
Hey. Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
I actually wanted to talk about the Bruins. I was listening earlier to talk about the high winning percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if they have such a high winning percentage, why do they keep getting rid of coaches who are actually coaching the team that gives them the high winning percentage?
Good point.
Great point,
Kevin. It's like we're sitting here bragging about Don Sweeney's winning percentage. You fired Cassidy.
We're about to hire our 4th coach, but we have the best winning percentage. So basically they're saying...
That's a tremendous point.
It is a great question. So that is...
How much of that was from that one season?
Well, they had a couple of President's Cups, I think. They had the one record-breaking year.
Uh-huh.
I think they had another first-place finish, didn't they? But either way... That is a good question. So basically...
Hang on. Don Sweeney has a .665 regular season winning percentage. I'm going to look up Cassidy and Monty right now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, they got to all be similar, but...
Dude, Cassidy's probably better.
He's
been better the last 2 years in Vegas.
Probably high. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to look up in Boston. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like overall. I'm like, yeah, both those guys
keep going.
have done all right. But so... Yeah, that's a great point. So they're great in the regular season. You're congratulating yourselves for that. And then you're putting all of the playoff losses on the coaches, evidently.
Yeah. Cassidy 672, higher. Hang on,
okay.
I'm sure Monty was higher. Let me keep looking it up.
I think he was in the close to 700.
Yeah.
Maybe
well, it has to be because
the 1 year,
because the Sacco losses go on Sweeney's record, not on the other guys, so it has to be worse. Or I mean, the coaches are better.
This is Jim Montgomery playing career.
Yeah, let's get in there. University of Maine. I don't know if we need to dig that far deep.
All right, hang on.
No, that should have been a question asked at the press conference, which I'm sure was not.
Oh, I'm sure they were right about to get to it. I'm sure. He was 715. So Don Sweeney has a 665 regular season win percentage. They're trumpeting that. It's
but
the highest
what
in the
about Monty's
league
and
since
Cassidy?
He came in.
That's a great one.
Cassidy's 672, slightly higher. Monty's 715. And by the way, I had no problem with them firing Cassidy or Montgomery. Zero. I think Montgomery, they were right to fire in retrospect. Cassidy's more questionable.
Oh, Cassidy, I did not like. I did not like Cassidy. Montgomery was fine. Claude Julien was the right call.
I had zero problem firing any of those guys. None.
Cassidy,
the point isn't that they shouldn't have fired Monty. The point is, how are they going to turn around and reference regular season winning percentage?
No, that's foolish.
When they've fired coaches with better winning percentages than Don Sweeney, great point.
The reason I didn't like the Cassidy firing was I didn't think he was the problem. And two, it was you were siding with Jake DeBrusque. Like, it's one thing if Bergeron and
Carlo
Tuca and all these guys, if like, the best players, like we don't want them, you're like, all right, that's sports, you got to get on with it. But your second line guy that you hope runs into 20 goals is like, he's mean to me. I'm like, okay, maybe don't side with that guy who you also didn't even keep long term. He's not even on the team anymore.
Let's see. Is that press conference still going? I'm trying to see our pal DJ Bean.
Yeah.
Is tweeting out that Kevin Paul Dupont is doing God's work. So maybe we gotta
God's work.
Maybe we gotta grab some of that in retrospect if Dupes is really going at him. I've been waiting to see if we have any updates on Swayman from that press conference today. We just took the opening comments.
Apparently, Will Campbell's wingspan, 77 3/8 inches. We got a text that said that. Now this I don't know. This I'm taking from the texter, which I assume is spot on.
Oh, that got to be right. Yeah.
NFL average is 82, and it'd be the shortest wingspan since 1999. Okay. Is that true? I didn't know that.
Okay, me neither.
So that means he has short arms, but also like a thin chest, right? Because if you're doing wingspan, it's the whole kit and caboodle, right?
Right. Tip to tip.
This guy's got a little bit of a
your tip to tip.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So these other guys, maybe Penei Sewell's got like a wide chest.
Yeah.
Which would add to the wingspan?
That doesn't really seem fair.
What do you mean?
You're wide-chested? That really adds
to the wingspan. You could have short arms, but you could have like just an enormous wingspan. Wow. I didn't know about that.
How about that? Do you want to adjust your list? You have time to adjust your list. Yeah. Players you don't want, your hate love.
No, we're set in stone at this point. It's set in stone.
Irons are in the fire.
But what do you think about all the players that are like, arm length doesn't matter? Didn't David Andrews say that at Fitzy's beer event?
Yeah, I'm sure David Andrews probably doesn't think arm length doesn't matter because I bet he didn't have long arms. But guess what? You're a center and you were undrafted. And that's probably the reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's so fraudulent. People point to Matt Light as a short arm tackle. Well, A, he had longer arms than this guy. B, he was a second-round pick. And also, he's kind of what we were talking about. He was a Pro Bowler a handful of times. I'm not sure he was ever all-pro.
Who are you talking about?
Matt Light.
Oh, yeah.
People reference Mankins, too. They're like, well, Mankins had short arms. Yeah, he was a guard. He was a college tackle who moved to guard. This is the point. When they drafted Matt Light fell to the second round. He wasn't the fourth pick.
4 overall is a different story.
Matt Light fell to the second round because people thought he may have to kick inside. They were wrong. But that was at pick like 50. That's way different than pick 4.
Oh, definitely. Who do you think is the best left tackle in the draft?
I think it's Simmons out of Ohio State.
Okay.
Whose arms are not, you pointed this out, are not much longer, but they do meet the thresholds. They do meet the cutoffs, which this guy doesn't.
No.
But I think it's Simmons. I don't. But my real answer is
33 on the nose.
Yeah, I don't think
so.
There's
Same arm length as Will Campbell's pro day.
Yeah, his fake measurement. Yes, not the combine measurement.
Stretched him out a little bit.
His fake measurement.
Yeah,
you're right.
He was kind of like he was short armed.
The real answer is I don't think there's a franchise left tackle in this draft. But the one I would roll the dice on is Simmons. But I wouldn't do it at 4. I'd do it in the 20s.
Yeah, if you did it at 38 or 28, if you traded up, I get it. No, I mean you don't want to have to reach at number 4. You shouldn't have to do that. Get it? Pun in your face, Will Campbell.
Nailed it. Let me.
Now I'm your biggest critic.
I
didn't know about this wingspan thing.
Yeah, no, it's we got one whole more day to research it. Yeah. Let me hear the moment, just in case there was any doubt.
Oh, this is
because we probably know the moment. You probably have an idea of the moment that Elliot Wolf lost his job effectively. Yep. Was demoted, ticketed for a demotion, out. But have you actually heard it? This is Joe Ortiz, the GM of the Chargers, and you'll hear him briefly talking to Jim Harbaugh, the coach. They're on the other side of the phone with Elliot Wolf, working the phones for the pick that eventually became Ladd McConkey. The Patriots, of course, got Jalen Polk and Javon Baker on the other side.
That's a tough go.
So listen to this. It's a good back and forth because Elliot Wolf is initially strong. He initially rebuffs the trade.
Of course he is.
And then he caves, folds like a cheap suit. Here's the exchange.
They're calling me.
Who? Okay.
See what they will give. Hey, you guys interested in that? You want to do it or you? No. All right.
Interested?
They wanted to know what side of the ball we're picking. I'm not going to tell them.
Who was that?
No, for us trading.
So timeout. So he goes.
Yeah, so we're in the Chargers war room right now.
They want to know what side of the ball we're picking on. He's like, I'm not telling them.
Yeah.
So Wolf is trying to play hardball. He's like, tell me what side you're picking.
Who are you taking? Like, we're not telling you that. What position? I'm not telling you that.
What side of the ball?
I'm not telling you any of that.
Offense or defense? And so Wolf's playing hardball. He's like, no.
It's like they're not going to get it.
Then you don't get our pick.
Patriots are going to have an opportunity to then draft a guy.
A few moments later.
Yeah.
No, for us trading how much time? 34 and 137 for 37 and 110. All right. Give me 2 seconds. Just hold on. Yep, I know. Hold on. It's the one we talked about, going back from 110 to 137, going up and getting Ladd.
Say we do it?
All right. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You there? We got a deal? All right, man.
Okay.
Ladd McConkey.
We're going up and getting Ladd. He puts him on mute. He's like, we're taking Ladd.
Yeah, we're taking Ladd McConkey.
And then they go up and get him. And that is
right off the rip.
Not only did Elliot Wolf make a bad trade, he got boxed around on it on top of it. Like on top of it, he got bullied by the guy on the other side. Is Ortiz a rookie GM at the time? I think he was in his first year
maybe.
With the Chargers. Boxed around. And just that, okay, fine, take our pick. They were so desperate to trade out.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, please take our pick. They folded on top of it. So that's probably where he lost his job.
Yeah, not great.
But Peter Schrager will tell you, hard guy to read. When it comes to who they're taking, hard guy to read.
Don't listen to him.
Don't.
Have him not be your source then.
So maybe.
Yeah.
There's a curveball coming from the Pats tomorrow. I doubt it, but maybe.